Good morning. I'm going to go over the annotation for this week because it is a little bit different. So you will follow the link to the teacher made, type in your first and last name, tell it to start, and this is our annotation. I have a rendezvous with life. It tells you it's by Contine Collin, born in 1903 to 1946. This happens during the Roaring Twenties and Harlem Renaissance. I gave you directions up here to find the words in yellow. Find at least two synonyms for the words in yellow. Tell how the meaning would change if you were to change the word in yellow to one of the synonyms. For each word in yellow, create a text box and answer numbers 1 through 3. Then explain how the author uses the words in purple to express time passing. Explain what the phrases in blue mean and how they relate to the poem. Create a text box for each one. Why is life capitalized in the first, 5th, and 14 lines? So the first thing we're going to do is read the poem, right? I have a rendezvous with life, and days I hope will come. Ere youth has sped and strength of mind, ere voices sweet grow dumb. I have a rendezvous with life, when spring's first heralds hum. Sure, some would cry, it's better far to crown their days with sleep than face the road, the wind and rain, to heed the calling deep. Though wet nor blow nor space I fear, yet fear I deeply too, lest death should meet and claim me ere I keep life's rendezvous. Right? So the first thing is you're going to make a text box for the first word in yellow. Then you're going to tell me the meaning. Now you can, I highly suggest you go to Merriam-Webster dictionary. And you can put in your word. Right? And it will give you definitions. Right? A place appointed for assembling or meeting. A place of popular resort. A meeting at an appointed place and time. The process of bringing two spacecraft together. So out of those, I'm going to go with a meeting at an appointed place and time. So I would write the definition. Now I need at least two synonyms. Right? So this is number 1. The synonyms are number 2. Usually if you scroll down on Merriam-Webster, you'll have some synonyms. You can just think of someone, a meeting, a hangout, a date. Right? I said you had to have at least 2. Then the third one says if we replace it, if we said, I have a rendezvous with life, let's replace it with one of our synonyms. I have a meeting with life. So I'm going to replace it with meeting. How does that change that line? Meeting makes it more formal, serious. But if we kept rendezvous, it just sounds more fun, right? And maybe a meeting is something we have to do. When Miss Staley says, meet with me at 8 a.m., I have to meet with her, right? Something fun, maybe it's I get a choice. I get to choose what I'm doing, where I'm meeting. So where this is more fun, happy, I have a rendezvous with life, even maybe mysterious, right? If we change it to meeting, then it takes a more formal, stern tone. So that's what you're going to do for each of the words in the words in yellow. So you would make a new text box and put hope. The first thing you do is define it. The second thing, synonyms. The third is replacing it with one of the synonyms. You'll do the same thing, voices. The first one you're defining, second, third. I always leave a space in between because it makes it clear. See how this is? And if I go back and remove the space, I'll be honest, as a student, I would do anything I can to make it easier for my teacher. And this kind of all runs together. So I put spaces between so the teacher knows I've done each thing. Could easily see I completed all 3 activities. So you could come down here beside of this and put crown, or I'd put sleep maybe on this side. And then on this side, I would put crown. Right, so that is, oh, sorry, there were 2 more down here. Death, and claim. So you would do all of the words in yellow. Each word has its own text box. That's 1 through 3. Now, number 4, explain how the author uses the words in purple to express time passing. There was a mistake here. This green where it says days should be purple, right? So you can make one text box down here, put purple, passing time. I always put it so then you would explain, what do those mean? Days, youth have sped, springs, days again. So explain how that shows passing time. Then 5, explain what the phrases in blue mean and how they relate to the poem. Create a text box for each one. So you come up here, Harold's hum. Right? Now I'm going to have to look up. If you don't know what Harold's hum is, break it down and look it up. Well, if I could type correctly and spell. Herald. Yeah, there it is. An official at a tournament of arms with duties including making the announcements. Right? An officer with the status of ambassador acting as an official messenger between leaders, especially in war. Officer of arms. An officer or arms ranking above. Right? Um, one that conveys news or proclaims, an announcer. And usually these are ones at events. You would think when it says this Sunday, the motocross, will be at, right? They're making announcements. Think of when they're boxing and they say round one, then getting ready to start round two. All of those announcing things, that's what a herald would be. So I would put herald announces. And what does hum mean? And I can go up here and type in and get a definition for hum: to utter a sound like that of speech sound prolonged, to make the natural noise of an insect in motion. Right? Um, so I don't have to type it exactly, long as you get the basics. So when it says, when spring's first herald hum, we are explaining the phrase, right? So we defined it, now we explain it. You can't really explain it if you haven't defined it, right? So it is the first sounds of spring. Birds chirping, bees buzzing. Now for each blue, you would do that. You would create a text box, put the blue, and then you would come down below and explain it. The last two can go in the same text box. And that takes care of number 5. Right? And look at all the text boxes we have. The reason I like teacher made is this is how, if you were annotating in person with, pen, pencil, paper, this is what you would be doing, is writing all along the sides. And then the last one, why is life capitalized in the first, fifth, and 14 lines? And you can add a text box here and answer it, or you can move it to the bottom and put 6. Then tell me why you think in those lines life is capitalized. When you finish all of it, you could hit submit here. And it tells you if you submit the work, right, it submits it. You're ready to submit. If you accidentally hit submit and you didn't do it like I said here and you need to go back, just email me and I will unlock it, reopen it, and you can add to it. Now, when you finish this, you still have to go back in our class to the assignment Let me view as a student, and it'll probably take me back to the, yes. Right, so here's our assignment. I could click on it, it'll take me there. You upload some file, right? Any file. I love pictures. I always look at the file, by the way. So there's a cute picture of a dog. I love dogs, kittens, all animals, really. Then tell it to add that file. Then down here in the comments, just put teacher made. Then hit submit. When you hit submit, that's what submits and notifies me that it's ready to be graded. I go in and see, oh, it's on teacher made. I'll look at the document just to see if it's a cute picture. So that is the annotation for this week. If you have any questions, please send me an email. Have a great day. Be safe, make wise choices, and always buckle up.